One Piece, written by Eiichiro Oda, is a series with 99 volumes, 1018 chapters, and 981 episodes as of making this video. It's the best-selling manga of all time at 480 million sales, and Oda himself is the 12th best-selling author of all time, right behind Dr. Seuss. So with all this information out there, how did I and many others sleep on this amazing series for so long? Well, today I'll be talking about my recent journey into One Piece, why you should start it, and how you should go about starting it. Back in April, I just finished a couple of series and was looking all over for something new to watch. At this point, One Piece had already been on my to-watch list for about 2 years or so. I spent hours looking for something new, but I couldn't really find anything I felt like I wanted to start. So I took a good look over my to-watch list one more time, thought all my options through. I got to One Piece, which was at the very bottom of the list since, it's been on there the longest, and I just thought for a second. A good friend of mine always hyped the show up, so I just thought back then he always tells me that I haven't seen anything until I've seen One Piece. And I mean, when I remember that, I hit the icon episode 1 right there. I mean, there's no way that it's popular for no reason, right? To give you some context, I do have a lot of anime and manga experience. I've seen a lot of popular series, and some more not so well-known series as well. Before I watched One Piece, I consider some of my favorites to be Black Clover, Naruto, Fullmetal Alchemist, Hunter x Hunter, Steins Gate, Konosuba, so on. But straight up, One Piece changed how I view storytelling in anime and manga, and I will never look at some of my favorite series the same way after experiencing One Piece. But that's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing at all. So how Oda goes about world building, story structure, foreshadowing, setup, build up, character development, character progression. It's just on a different level. The man most of the time does not do something for no reason. He does not. If you have information, you better remember that because there's a 99% chance that's going to come up later and blow your mind. Something else that I want to highlight that may be a bit underrated when it comes to just some of his feats is his ability to properly structure a fight right. But a One Piece fight is a lot different from, like, let's say a Naruto fight. So let me explain a bit about that. In One Piece, a fight's more like a war. You have this huge area where the arc takes place, and about 10 to 30 characters, depending on the arc, who are involved. Oda uses each character pretty much as a chess piece. Like, that character, each of those little pieces are important to the structure of the arc and what they are doing. Like, you have these characters, and it's interesting to see them get into fights, meet up with others who finish the fights. They go to help other people with their fights, or try to get to a place to complete a goal. Every single one has a purpose of being there, and it makes it interesting and exciting because there's endless possible outcomes with all these pieces all over the board. One Piece also introduced me to many of my favorite characters in anime as well. I won't name any names because I'd rather have people experience it for themselves, but you just gotta trust me when I say that Oda doesn't mess around when it comes to backstories and tragedies. I don't cry when watching things, but straight up, One Piece made me cry 4 times. Okay, this series has some of the happiest moments in anime, some of the hypest moments in anime, some of the most shocking moments in anime, but definitely some of the saddest moments as well. If you get through One Piece without crying, like, you either have a bunch of friends around you or watching with a friend or something, and they're keeping you back from, like, showing how you're really feeling right there, or you truly have no soul. Not really, but, like, hey, it's difficult, so let me know how that goes, I guess. Yeah. And at this point, you may be wondering, how do I get into it, though? Is it really worth watching some goofy kid in his treasure hunting adventures? And to that I say you have fallen for one of One Piece's greatest misconceptions. Yes, Luffy's overall goal is to find a specific treasure, being the One Piece, but he does not hop from island to island looking for his treasure. They know they aren't just going to find the One Piece where they started. They're not just going to hop from island to island. You can't just dig it up. That's not how it works. The pirates are trying to look for treasure, but it's not how it goes. I can't say much about the location without spoiling, but it does make sense. You will come to know about how their destination looks as you get into it a little bit, and you won't be disappointed with that aspect. It's fine. It makes sense. And so, honestly, One Piece has only had one arc where they look for treasure. And even then, it wasn't the biggest aspect of that arc. At first glance, it seems like it's a fun, goofy adventure. But One Piece has some of the darker themes in shonen, and I recommend you experience it for yourself. Another thing that I really want you to know that's a great aspect of One Piece is the locations. Pretty much any One Piece fan can tell you about the locations that they end up going to. Oda really lets you know pretty much everything about the island. By the time the crew leaves the island, you'll probably have all the information you need to know about how the politics work, to important events that take place. But most importantly about the locations is the aspect of being pirates and being at sea. Okay, that's the real thing I'm getting to here. Some people don't like the idea of being at sea all the time, and that's one of the reasons they don't want to watch it. And lucky for you, they are almost never at sea. No, I really don't know if they've been at sea for a full episode. I mean, obviously they need to sail to new islands and stuff, but Oda doesn't really bore you with the travel time. Really, there are a lot of misconceptions about One Piece if you just look at it and don't dive into it yourself. If you look at the early openings as well, you'll think they're all just happy sailing all the time, having fun beach parties. But the early openings don't really reflect on what's going on, and they're just for fun. You don't have an idea until you get into it yourself. Here's something that's a little different than other series, though. The power system that this series uses, for those of you who don't know, the powers come in the form of fruits called devil fruits. And if you eat the fruit, you gain a tremendous amount of power, but at a cost. And that cost is your ability to swim, which may not seem like that big of a deal right off the bat. But you gotta remember, a lot of these characters are pirates, they're marines, they're at the sea or they're by the sea for the majority of the time. So if you don't have somebody who can swim and save you, watching you pretty much at all time, if you get knocked in, you're screwed. You are done. But there's a lot of variety of devil fruits anyways. There's over 100, I think, that are canonical and revealed in the series and that have been shown. And they're classified into one of 3 different types. Now, honestly, I do think knowing the types makes it easier going into it, but I don't personally think I can do it justice myself explaining it, so I'm just gonna throw up a picture and a description and just look through them real quick if you gotta know, because it helped me knowing about the classifications going in, and without it I feel like I would have been a little lost, so just take a look. But yeah, you'll come to understand the different classifications yourself a little more and see them just used in full. But there are a large variety of powers in the series. Now the burning hurdle that most people need to get over in order to actually start the series. I know it, you know it, you all know it. I don't want to watch something with that many episodes, it'll take too long, I don't have that much time. Okay, when it comes to this, there are a few things to address. Okay, first off, One Piece is a series that when you're experiencing it, you do not want it to end. When you're finally caught up, you will feel a little sad that you're weekly now. One Piece does not feel long to people who are reading or watching it. Trust me. Now speaking of reading or watching, we gotta talk about which way is the best. Now everybody has their preference, but me personally, I wanted to watch it so I could see everything in full animation. And I've always been able to binge long series with no problems, so I knew I'd be able to handle it. The pacing is a little iffy at times, and there are a lot of unnecessary recap and flashbacks as well. I do recommend reading it over watching it overall, though. One of those reasons is that, 1,000 chapters is easier to consume than 1,000 episodes. It's 1,000 20-minute episodes where they eventually cover only one chapter per episode versus reading multiple chapters in that 20-minute time frame that you'd be watching it. I think it's pretty easy to see why it's better. And aside from that, though, the pacing's better There's no filler. The manga is how it's meant to be experienced. If you really do want to watch the anime, though, there are some excellent options. Your first one would just be skipping all the filler. You can go look up a filler list for One Piece and just keep an eye on it. And by skip all of the filler, I mean skip all of the filler except for the G8 arc, because that one's wonderful and required. I think it is. I think it's great. I think most people who watch the G8 arc think it's great. Because that is actually excellent. It's excellent, okay? It spans from episodes 196 to 206. There aren't any other fillers, in my opinion, that are worth watching. Maybe others disagree, but just save yourself some time. That's what I gotta say to that. But there also is another option for consuming the anime, and that's called One Piece. This is the option I would recommend the most, I would say. Essentially, One Piece will help you experience it as it's supposed to be paced in the manga, and it will cut out the extra bits from the anime, and it will put everything in the correct order to where it would make the most sense for it to be without all the like the flashbacks or recap and stuff like that. You'll really enjoy it. I think you'll like it a lot, but I won't go too into detail about it. I'd rather have you just watch Randy Troy's video about it, because he goes deep into it in a full video, and I think you're just better off watching that if you want to learn more about One Piece. But anyways, here's the deal. Overall, I really want to make it known that One Piece is not something you need to rush, okay? The best time to get into One Piece is now, and will always be now, up until it's done. Up until the series is over, the best time to get into One Piece will be now, because it's just a different experience to be a part of the conversation while it's still going on. Like, when a new chapter or a new episode comes out, you can be part of that discussion, and you already know when a new chapter comes out. I'm looking at that discussion. I'm trying to figure out every little thing. I'm trying to look for the little details that others notice that maybe I don't notice, and it's interesting. The whole community tries to come to a conclusion together, and you won't get that experience. It's impossible to get that experience if you don't get into it before it ends. Just be a part of that journey. You won't regret it. Now, the first couple arcs, I was like, okay, yeah, this is interesting. And then, at an arc called Arlong Park, which is 31 episodes or 69 chapters in, that was the first time I realized like how amazing the series actually was and how good it would end up being. Like, I don't think this is necessarily the first good arc, but in my opinion, this is the arc that really shows you like what's up with the series. Like, I hear some people say like they mock it. They're like, yeah, I don't want to watch something that gets good 300 episodes in. Like, I heard that a lot. I don't know if anybody else did, but like people around me were saying that. It was like, why would anybody watch One Piece? And it just proved when I watched it, like, it's not true. It's not true. I really enjoyed it from pretty much the beginning. And, some people say that One Piece isn't for everyone, and it's okay. But, like, I really believe that anybody can find enjoyment out of the series if they actually give it a chance. And I will die on that hill. I think anybody can truly find something they like about it. And, after experiencing One Piece, it's easily become my favorite series of all time. I mean, not just an anime or manga, but across any kind of media, books, movies, video games, you name it. I think One Piece is it's the best, I think. I really feel like this series is a once-in-a-lifetime experience that you won't get anywhere else. So I really felt the need to make this video after sleeping on it for so long. Like, I used to be the one who had excuses on why I wasn't going to watch it, or why I would wait until later to start it. And yeah, at one point I was like, oh yeah, maybe I'll wait until the series ends. Then I'll binge it all in one go. But no, that bad. You do not do that. So basically what I'm trying to say is I was wrong. Everybody else was right. I'm stupid. You're smart, okay? Yeah. Anyways. I do wish I had started it sooner, as it really is my favorite series. But at the very least, I'm able to be part of this now, before it comes to an end. And if you do end up watching One Piece because I convinced you to do so, go ahead and let me know in the comments. In the future, I'll be posting theories, putting out chapter reviews, other things One Piece related. I may even cover some other series like Black Clover, Dr. Stone. Who knows what else? We'll see. I may even do more spoilery videos to go further into depth about what I experienced in the series. But anyways, I would really appreciate if you liked the video, subscribed, because I really like discussing One Piece and would love for any of you to join me in the discussions. in the future. But this video certainly is not the end of me discussing One Piece. I am full in on this series. It is my favorite thing, and I want to be here until the end to discuss it with you all. So, I hope to see you all next time.